And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this little flight that we're going to be doing in the Piper Seneca II. We'll be flying from Peachtree DeKalb to Lexington Blue Grass. Pretty decent looking flight. Make sure that all my audio is working, which it is. My microphone's working. This is all working. We're not using the overlay function because it sucks ass. Anywho, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and get this party started. Party on the road, whatever you want to call it. First thing I want to do, our weight and balance here. If we open up for flight, so you can see, we're at the Aero Center, I think, or I forgot the name of it. Apps Aviation, I think. 66, so we'll just say 33 gallons in both tanks. We're not we don't have an alternate filed because the weather's better than 2 miles of visibility, 3,000 foot ceiling, yada 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 yada. And this is our cruise performance profile. So we'll just put in 33 in each tank. In the weight and balance, so fill up here 33, fill up here 33, refill my oxygen. This is all good. 150 will move you down to 130. Leave that alone. We're all good to go. So what we'll do now: remove the covers, remove the chocks. Last thing I'm going to do here is just verify that my oil level, holy shit. Verify that my oil level is good. And just under the green. So oil level in the left engine is good. We'll check the oil level in the, in the right engine is good. Oil level in the right engine is good as well. So that looks good. So we'll come on in, hop on in, and get situated. So we'll close up the cabin passenger door and the cabin door. Make sure those are all closed on up. And then to actually latch it, you gotta hit it at the top and hit it at the top. Over here. I have to close it and then latch it. Now, I wonder, I do have this on. I wonder if that actually works as accordingly. I have the lossless scaling. So I wonder if lossless scaling works fine in the stream. I'm just kind of monitoring it on my phone. No, it doesn't do that. It works fine for me, but not fine for you guys. So I can't really stream with lossless scaling enabled, so I'll just kind of get that out of the way here. That's fine. You have the... Okay, we'll open up the window here for our start. Get this on the road. So, I'm down here, and go and set my parking brake. Lovely. Run through the flows. Cowl flaps are opened. Alternate air looks good. Come over here. My prop's full forward. Throttle is closed. Make sure that idle cut off. What we can do is we'll go up to the aircraft page and normal procedures. Alright, so before start, that's good, that's good. Starting engines, and we are equipped with the optional engine primer system here. So fuel selector, we'll come down here and make sure that it's on in both tanks, which it is. And that the oxygen mask bag is connected up. Throttle's full forward, prop control full forward. So throttle will push full forward, props at full forward. Master switch coming on. Got our alternators on as well. Bin strobe light on. Okay. And prime will prime for a couple seconds and be good to go. And I'll have you on the before takeoff ground check list here. Okay, so it's a little bit interesting here. First thing I'm going to do is verify gears down, indicating 3 greens, looking at the fuel, and it's indicating kind of what I want it to indicate, which was like 33 gallons. Here's the, we'll say, clear. Here's the thing, right? So, again, basically, if we come down here, can't remember what view it was, maybe this one? Nope. So, what we'll do, throttle is fully opened, right? Let me, again, do it one at a time. Throttle's fully open, mixtures will go rich, right? And we're going to prime it for just a couple seconds here. So, these two are my primers, so we'll prime it for a couple seconds. Look at the fuel flow gauge. So, here's 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, and that's good. We'll leave the mixture in, and then we'll idle this. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get our mags on, and then simultaneously crank while priming. So that's going to look like this. And accelerate to 1200. Low pressure screen. And let it settle. Good engine start on engine number 2. We'll go ahead and start up engine number 1 here. So what we'll do for that is same procedure. We'll prime it. We'll go mixture fully rich. Throttle fully open. And we're going to prime it 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000. Interesting, notice how that takes a little bit longer. Anywho, we'll bring that back to idle, leave the mixture in. This is this, so that's going to look like... get the mags on. It's going to look like that. Oil pressure's good. Get those guys off. Get it accelerate a little bit. Good. Bring that down. Mixture, I'll just lean it out a little bit. Something like that. Avionics coming on. Got our noise canceling headset in. Alright. Continue. Alright, self panel test. Looking at the bottom G5. Left CDI, half left. Left flag out of view. Half up. Flag out of view. We have a 2 indication, tracking 150. Alright, fuel on board 66.8 gallons, that is correct. And we'll hit continue. TAWS system test, okay, so we're going to do that in a second here.
TAWS system test, okay.
Cool, I'm going to come down here, this is kind of settling in. This is also okay to me. So what we'll do now is we'll just go ahead and I'll just bring the power setting back just a smidge. We'll pick up our IFR clearance here. I don't know if we have, oh, well, we don't really have anyone online here. So, we don't have any controllers in range. That is so sad. So I'll just disconnect from AdSim there. Alright, so we'll just do this on our own accord in that case. Alright, so... What we'll do in here is we'll get the route set in here. So, flight plan, Peachtree to Noctua, Victor X-ray Victor, Volunteer Viewer, so May, and then Lexington Blue Grass, and that's fine there. We'll go preview this. Here we go. Some, boom, and we'll load up the approach procedure once we're closer. I mean, there's no real need for us to do that now. Have it in pretty simple in here. What we can do next is we'll do a quick little flight deck check before we taxi out. So what we'll do here for a flight deck check, we'll come to the Garmin system here, and we'll go into utilities, we'll go into rain prediction, and local time, this says it's 17:59. It's not going to be that. Arrival date is 2025. Today is going to be the 10 Eastern, and it's taking about an hour for our ETA is 12:05 a.m. on the 7th. So we'll get the 7th in here. July 7th, 2025 is fine. Local time is going to be 12:05 a.m. Enter. Compute RAME. RAME's available. Cool. We'll get WAS checked on here. So system status. It's also, you have this is basically your databases, Navigraph chart and shit like that. But what we'll do here is we'll go to GPS status. We have more than 6 GPSs in sight. WAS is enabled. That looks good. LRUs. GTN is good. Setup is this. We have CDI on auto, and ILS CDI captures on auto switch. Now, take a look at this. Date and time is not correct. Time format, I don't know if that's that, but that's not correct. I don't know if I can fix that, but nonetheless. Anywho, that looks good. So what we'll do now is a quick little flight deck check down here. Let's get the Peachtree weather information. Altimeter is 3023, so we'll set that in here. There's 30212223, about there. 3023, we'll set that in here. So we're indicating about 990 MSL. Over here, we're indicating 1000. Something like that would be okay. That's fine. What we can do now is we'll go ahead and guard this. Come down here. Nav light can come on. This is all good. We can taxi to hold short in here. We'll go info charts. Cool. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna taxi. Basically, oh, I didn't get the wind. What was the wind? What was the wind? Wind's coming in from 140. So we'll take runway 16. I don't know if they're still, if 16 is still closed or not. I think it's available now. We'll just take 16. So we'll do that. Let's go ahead and prep for that. Alright. Oh shit, let me take a sip of the fucking thing. I need to go up like that. All right. Let's go ahead and do that taxi here. We'll come and release that park brake. Again, airspeed 0, attitude horizon 980. Turn coordinator. So what we can check here on the taxi out is we'll check to see that, yeah, we're rate of turn is in the direction, and then we're skidding outwards. So that's what we're checking. So watch this. If I like move it like that, there you go. You can see we're skidding outwards and rolling into the direction. So that looks good over there. I don't know if the chart automatically scrolls in, but anywho. 162 on the heading. We'll do that. We'll go heading 162. Forgot I can just do that there. Altitude, I think we said 2000. We said it was 19,000. So definitely gonna take it up in the high flight levels. I'll set that here. We'll also go ahead and swing it out for a run-up procedure here. Okay, so we'll put in 190 on the altitude here. Again, I do not like how it kind of messes with that. Like, I don't know how to fix that, but anywho, we'll just have to monitor it and make sure it doesn't level off at flight level 200 and it levels off at flight level 190. Okay. We'll do our run up here. Okay, park brakes on. Mixture is forward. Props forward. Throttle's at 1,000. Manifold pressure lines. I think those are down here, like how it is in the arrow. At least they should be, maybe. Let's see if I can find them. Oh. I can't seem to find them. I don't know if it's over here. It's the fans, but anywho, we have this in air intake open, and we have it in the fan mode. Okay, prop, we'll check feathering, 300 RPM max drop, 1900. So, throttle controls will go up to 1900. And then we'll, for our little run up here. All right, oil pressure. Well, I think it's this one. Oil pressure, oil temperature, green. Alright, so what we'll do here is we'll first test the props, all the prop shit. So get that off, hide this. So I'm looking for, we're going to do the right engine first. We're going to check for a drop in RPM, increase in manifold pressure on the right engine here. So we'll do, there it is. We'll let it stable out a little bit, maybe a little bit less power. Cool. Second one, I'm going to look for oil pressure to drop but stay within the limits. There it is. And we'll let it do its little thing. Last one, I'm going to look outside and see that. Make sure it doesn't sputter. Which doesn't. Next thing I'm going to check magnetos. Right engine, right mag. Good. Right engine, left mag. Good. And you can even check the alternator. So we get the alternator off. That kills the amps. And we get the alternator on. Amps come up. Good, so right engine's checked. We'll do the same with our left engine here. The first one, we'll look for drop in RPM, increase in manifold pressure. Second one we're going to look for is that oil pressure. Good. Next one I'm going to check is outside. Good. Next is mags. So left engine, left mag. There's a drop. Left engine, right mag. There's a drop. Alternator. There it comes up. Good. Last thing I can check is alternate air. Yeah. Good. Good. Cool. That's all checked. And we'll bring this back down to 1,000 RPMs. So something like that. Lovely. Fuel selectors on, alternators on. Make sure all this looks good. Good. Landing lights on. We'll get our strobe light on as well. Mixture set. We'll have it where it's at. It's fine. Cowl flaps are open. And trim set, seatbelt harness, fasten doors, auxiliary fuel pumps are off, pitot heat as required. And we'll do our takeoff here, normal takeoff. So we'll rotate at 71, 66 to 71. And then after we're at 70 knots, we'll get the gear up, pitch for 90. And then we'll climb out at our takeoff climb, 2750. Takeoff climb, sorry, our manifold pressure is 40 inches. So just don't go over red line, and we'll bring the prop to 2575. So again, just don't red line on both of those, and we're pitching for 90 knots. And then our cruise climb that we'll transition to is 2450. So once we get on course and we're about 1300 MSL, we'll transition to that, and then 2450 on the prop speed, so just underneath that, and then 31.5 inches of manifold pressure. Cool. Park brakes coming off. We'll taxi to hold short here. We good to go. Gyro air, that's because of the that. Okay, and then we'll get this on the map page. I do believe it is on the auto range select, so that is fine there. 1622 at 30. This is an up timer. At 30, we will. We are squirrely. Okay. Since we're squirrely, let me do something real quick. I have my MFG. Control sensitivity, yaws all the way there. But we add in a response curve. Let me do something like this. This, and like like that. We'll add point. Then we'll take this and make this 1. There we go. And then the toe brakes is fine. Hey, I'll hit done. Alright, and power smoothly coming up, making sure that manifold pressure doesn't go over 40. Power set. Airspeed's live. Engine's green. Rotate. Looking good over there. A little bit of power that's coming out. Alright, gear's coming up. Gear in transition. Pitching for 90 here. We can go something like that, about 12.5 degrees of pitch attitude, which is absolutely crazy. And we'll make that left turn on course. Make it standard rate. Alright, we're going to nose over, and we'll go 30.1. On the manifold pressure here. There we go. And we'll bring the prop back. Okay. I believe it's 108 that we're pitching for. 102. All these different aircrafts and all their, like, different, anywho, heading. Put the nose over a little bit. Cool. Alright, so we'll get the flight director on, heading, and then nav. Looks like we got nav, and it's on pitch mode. So autopilot can come on. Alright. Alright, we'll run through that cruise climb checklist. Mixture's fully rich. Prop speed 2450. Good. Manifold pressure 31.5 inches. So if there's 31, 2, 3, 4, 5, so 31.5 is just a little bit less manifold pressure. So something like that. Something like this will be good. And tablet coming off. And yeah, looking good over there. And you have the rudder trim over there. Cool. Once we pass 10,000, we'll get the throw on that oxygen mask, and yeah, looks beautiful. All right. I'm just gonna continuously lean out the mixture. Just because we're getting to a pretty decent density altitude, and especially with how hot it is. Yeah. A little bit of performance boost definitely helps. There we go. There we have it. There we have it. Cool, and now we're just kind of chillaxing now for the next hour. Love the CIS Seneca. iDoc Joe, welcome aboard. Sorry if I haven't checked chat recently. I was just kind of perusing around about. But yeah, I love the Seneca too. It's funny, Seneca 2 and just the Seneca. I fly mainly 172s. I really do wish I could find a place near me that offers aero rentals. I just love the Piper Arrows. They are so freaking easy to do landings in. You're in a critical phase of flight, you're good. Yeah. And the thing is, now we're chilling, hell yeah. What's crazy is just how much quicker everything goes in a multi-engine aircraft, right? And then on top of that, this is a high-performance aircraft, and it's also got turbos in it. Versus the complex aircraft that I flew, which was the Arrow, is naturally aspirated, is not turbocharged. Not high performance. It's this needs to. It's 180 brake horsepower versus this being 200 on each engine. So huge difference, and everything just goes by so much quicker because you kind of have time to kind of set everything up. My complex, I'm in Cherokee IRL. My complex was in a Comanche. Was the Comanche, was it high performance or is it just complex? That's fine, that's fine. It's been a minute since I've flown into Georgia. Actually, 180. Okay, so it's about the same. Still trying to find a plane to do my high performance in. Yeah, there's also just not a whole lot of places that offer that. Like where I'm in, I think I'd have to go down to like Paducah or Cape Girardeau to do that, to get my high performance. And that's just not a priority right now for me at all. Right now I'm in my last year here. I'm a couple weeks away from my commercial, and then I'll start my CFI, do that, so then I should graduate with my CFI. And basically I want to get all of my certs and my degree done. Then I'll work on other add-on shit, high performance, high altitude, this and this, that, and the other. Working on instrument. There you go. I love instrument. I loved that. The way I view instrument versus commercial is when you're learning instrument, a lot of it is, you're learning the procedures, learning this, that, and how to navigate around. Whereas when you're flying commercial, a lot of that, comes down to being with the aircraft, or really learning how the aircraft is an extension of yourself. And I know that sounds corny or whatever the hell, but like when you're doing all those commercial maneuvers, a lot of it is just pure stick and rudder. It is just learning about timing the release on the control column, and power off 180s is all about energy management. A lot of the maneuvers are also about energy management, right? So I don't hate commercial. It's just so much more different than instrument. But yeah, I mean, and that's one thing that the sims are so good at is instrument training. And this GTNXI is really good at that. This unit here is excellent. I don't know if you tuned in earlier on the stream, but this has all the functions that you would need in your flight deck check. So you have rain prediction, you have your GPSs. Now it does look like it all works. I don't know if you can modify it or have one that, you know, doesn't work or set shit like that. You know, you have WAS. You have LRUs in here. You have only one that, you know, because there's only one unit. But yeah, definitely useful. I kind of wish we had a similar quality avionics stack in the G1000s, because both X-Plane and Microsoft just don't deliver in the G1000s. Microsoft's a little bit better than the X-Plane one, that you have more pages and stuff available, but both are just shit. I call it the X crap 1000 because it's so garbage. But one thing that it is useful, despite it being crap, is it is useful in learning. Like if you're wanting to do practice. Oh Jesus Christ! If you're wanting to practice doing holds or practice doing approaches, briefing approaches, procedures, things like that, it's not that bad. You don't need pages of MFD stuff for that. Almost exclusively all of your IFR training, you're basically just relying on your PFD anyways. You know, your MFD, you should not be using that to navigate. It's supplemental. So there's that. Okay, so we're approaching 10,000. Oxygen is simulated in this aircraft. We're not in any visible moisture, but we are IFR. Shouldn't be in IMC, but we'll go ahead and throw that on. Throw on the pitot heat. And then we'll grab the oxygen mask. You can definitely tell once you get above like in 9,000, 10,000, it just becomes not as easy to breathe. So yeah, legally we still got another 4,500 feet, but in practice I'd like to toss that shit a lot sooner. Oh, one other thing that I'm gonna do a quick little rant on is this autopilot system. It's utter junk, utter garbage. It is the, which one is this? This is the KFC, the CAP 200. It is 2-axis, I believe, and yeah, absolute junk. Absolute junk. It would be so cool if Captain Iceman or whoever does some sort of update in this, so you can have something like the S-Tech 55X. I feel like, so the Pipers that I flew, they were equipped with a G500 suite for the PFD MFD. We had a dual GTN 650, and then we had the S-Tech 55X. The S-Tech is also junk, but at least it is more capable than this KFC. You have GPS steering with the S-Tech, which itself is not great, but in the sim, the KFC is tracking pretty good, but I don't know how good it is in person. I haven't flown an aircraft in person with that autopilot system. And then there's no altitude arm. That's just crazy to me. Oh, and there's no vertical speed. Your only source of like vertical speed or whatever the hell is pitch mode. You have pitch and then altitude hold mode. So you have to adjust the pitch angle to get the airspeed that you want, which isn't too bad in the sim. I mean, most of the time it holds 102 easily with whatever, you know, we're at like 8 degrees or 7 degrees of pitch right now, and it's holding it fine. Good luck trying to do a vertical speed descent with the autopilot, because just take a look at that right now. It's kind of jumping a little bit. Not too hard, but, you know. And then if you're doing VNAV planning in the GTN, definitely do it off of the pitch angle. Do not do it off of the vertical speed. So, quick little rant on that. This is like my current #1 least favorite autopilot system. Second to that is the CAP 140. The CAP 140 is like an Aztec 55 that is just unnecessarily complex. So, yeah, I'll just bump up the throttle just a smidge here. Cool. A little flyby action for you. You can see the cowl flaps are open. This is why I like X-Plane a lot more than Microsoft. I feel like X-Plane visually looks so much better than Microsoft in like 9 out of 10 cases, because, like, first of all, the lighting is a lot nicer and the textures are so much crisper, but two, if with XPME and the likes, look how sharp this is. When you're at like 6,000 to 15,000 feet, Microsoft's ground textures become really blurry, like noticeably blurry, and then the photogrammetry, like all of the buildings, look like sludge. Here, obviously, the buildings aren't, you know, exactly how they should look, but with X-World, SimHeaven X-World, they're at least the right shape and they're in the right placement. Which is why when you're this high up, I can't tell that, you know, this house should have 2 stories, not 3, and it looks like a hotel. Like, you can't tell that, right? When you zoom all the way out, a house is a house is a house. So, yeah, and this is the other thing why, like, with this aircraft, you can't throw on autopilot and then step away and then come back. You're gonna die. Because we just bled like 4 knots of airspeed with this pitch angle as we're increasing in altitude, right? So, again, I'm just going to lightly tap the down, but yeah. Oh, our power setting. We're cruising. Let's figure that out real quick in the table. Our power setting. Holy Lord, what in the hell? Okay. Ooh. All right. Look at this. To maintain constant power at approximately 1% for each 6 degrees above standard, subtract approximately that. Anywho, we're gonna be 75% power, and we're at flight level 190. So that is in between these two values here. Anything with the dash, I believe, is because the manifold pressure is at full power, if I'm not mistaken. But what we'll do here is we'll do 2575 RPM, and we will do 28.2 inches of manifold pressure. That will be what we do. What the fuck? Shit. Sir? There we go. Cool. We'll add just a little bit more power here as that altitude is getting less dense. There we go. Lovely. Look at the way the static wicks bounce. I think that's really fucking dope. All right. Alright, passing through 16,000. Switch down a little bit more. What are we going on the ground? We're going 120 on the ground. About 130 true airspeed. Not too terrible. All right. I'll probably lean out that mixture just a little bit here. Probably give us a little bit more performance. And add a little bit more power. Something like that will be good. Alright. 2,000 to go. Oh my god, look at our altimeter setting. So it's at 302 tree, so we're gonna have to bring that down to 2992. So we're gonna lose a decent amount of altitude that way when we do change it. So we'll have to climb up again. That's fine. Oh, what is this? There's like a little screw here. Huh. I didn't even notice that there's a little screw here. I don't know what this does, and I don't want to press it right now. If you know what the screw does, let me know. If not, I'll click it when we're on the ground. But I don't want to click this and then it basically would blow up. I know this card here, you know, you adjust it for temperature and for temperature, and it'll, you know, give you your pressure. It will compensate for your pressure, altitude, and then you will get your true airspeed down here. Okay. Doing 126 over the ground. Here's your oxygen tank. It's got a good amount. Did about 41 minutes so far from engine start. Alright, passing through flight level 180, altimeter coming to 2992. And we'll set that in here. 179. Yeah, that's about right. Add a little bit more power. We're at like 70% power right now, pretty much. Look at that. Just a little bit of messing around with the engine, and we gained a couple knots. So that looks great. There's 18.6. Okay, as we're approaching that, we will bring you so that we can set the power setting here, which is going to be 28.2 inches of manifold pressure and 25.75 on the prop. So first thing is we're going to hit Alt once we get to 19,000. Oh, look at that. Bang on. Aha. Okay. Yeah, power back to 28.2 inches of manifold pressure. So we'll come down here. Bring the power back to 28.2. This is 30. And let that actually let's do this. Let's put it to 32. I'm going to let the airspeed build up a little bit before I start chopping power, right? True airspeed, we have 154. I'll let it get to like 160. Right, because that's pretty much what we planned for, is like 160 something true airspeed. So we'll let that true airspeed build up. It looks like it's actually settling in at about 157 right now. So I will come down here now. Now we'll put in 28.3. 28 or 28.2. So this is 30. This is 29, and then this is 28. So, okay, right about there. Add in a little bit more power on the left, looking good. And then our prop setting is going to be 25.75. So this is at, well, so we're actually going to bring the prop forward to about here. Looks good. And then the last thing is we're just going to lean out the mixture till we're about 100 degrees. Because each of these indications are 25, so that's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 markers. So I can actually just enrich it just a little bit to right around there. And that is the mixture that's lean, power set, cowl flaps. We'll go ahead and we'll close you up. And we'll go through that cruise checklist, power set, cowl flaps is required. Mixture adjusted, engine gauges monitored. Lovely. Cruise checklist complete. We're at 165. So our true airspeed is almost bang on what we filed for. So that looks good, doing 150 over the ground, which is not too terrible. All right. About 130 out. I think there's a waypoint info, airport. There should be a way for me to system. No. Services. No. Utilities. Trip planning. ETA. We got about an hour and a half left of the flight. Just under an hour and a half. Cool. So, there you go. We can probably get our landing lights off. Um. Holy shit, did we build up a... Look at all that airspeed we built up. We're at 184 true airspeed. Doing 170 on the ground. Yeah, we definitely, shaved off some time. Fuel planning. We'll have a decent amount. Okay. We got tons of time left. Alright, I probably ought to fold my laundry. So that's what I'm gonna do. Is anyone in chat? Because if no one's in chat, I'm probably gonna step away for a little bit and fold some laundry. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to step away for just a couple minutes here. I'll get the sound of this down a little bit. I'm going to step away for just a couple minutes. And I'll be back. Alright, I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back for just a couple minutes here. Sorry, just didn't see your message there. I was folding my laundry. Getting ready for bed. How much time is left for this flight? We got about 45 minutes left on this flight. About, I'd say, another 15 minutes until we start loading in the approach and started briefing that. Liameth, long time no see. Yes, this is he. I was just loading up my laundry. So yeah. I'm just gonna see chat in just a second here. I'm just gonna wrap this up. I'll be right back. Alright, party people, hopefully you can hear me. Gotcha. Alright, cool. Let's start loading in the approach, getting all that shit in. We'll be good to go. Head into the pit here. Get the, that going. Alright, so, let's come into here. Let's look at, Lexington Bluegrass here. Weather data, winds coming in from 110, so we'll take runway. I believe it was what procedure did I have put into the thing? Let me see what I had loaded up. Procedure approach. It was the RNAV runway 9 and ESOM. RNAV runway 9 ESOM. So, procedures, we'll do the RNAV runway 9 via ESOM as our initial. And then we'll just load the approach for now. And the cool thing with this is now that the approach is in, we can get the same page by clicking on the airport info here. So we can remove Bluegrass, and then it'll automatically sequence, and it'll automatically, how do I say this? It'll automatically load it so that you're basically starting the approach but not quote unquote activating it, right? So anywho, you can see we actually now have a top of descent drawn in. 3,100 is where we're gonna cross ESOM at. And if we look at the VNAV now, flight path angle -3 degrees of pitch is fine. So you're looking at about 20 minutes until we hit our top of drop there. Rest of this looks good to me. We'll brief the approach in just a minute here. Pretty easy approach, just a LPV approach. This is capable of that with our GTN 750 XI. So there you go. Look at the hills. Beautiful. So yeah. Fuck it. We'll just we'll brief the approach. Now this is not a government chart. This is your Jeppesen chart because it uses Navigraph. Nonetheless, the briefing procedure is still going to be the same, right? So I'll go ahead and do that. So we're gonna go to our initial approach fix of ESOM. We will let's see. We got a star. It's not circled, so it's not a flyover point. It's a flyby point. Anywho, we'll, once we're at ESOM, here's your not your MSI. This is your DVA, right? No, not diverse. Whatever the fuck. Blanking right now. But anywho, if you look at our current heading, we're tree 47, so we're within this little window here. And what's interesting is actually, I think the government chart displays the radius distance. It'll say 30 nautical miles on my government chart. I don't know why it doesn't say 30 nautical miles on the Jeppesen, but 30 nautical miles to ESOM. Again, we're not on a controlled thing, so here what we'll do is we will make that descent down to 3,100 when we're 30 nautical miles from ESOM. We're 93, so yeah, we still have plenty of time until we're there. Anywho, once we're 30 nautical miles from ESOM, I mean, we could start that descent, but we are doing it. We'll follow our VNAV advisory VNAV path by just pitching down to 3 degrees once it says we reach our top of descent, and that'll basically have it so that we cross ESOM at 3,100 feet. And then we'll go down to 3,000 feet to Ovma, and then we'll step down to 2,600 to Yibup. We'll not do the course reversal here, right, because we're using ESOM as our initial, so we'll just shoot it in like this, and then we'll do a right turn on heading 087 to join our final approach course, and step down to 2,600 at Yibup, and then we'll that will be our final approach fix and our glide path intercept point down to our minimums here, our decision altitude of 1220 MSL. This goes in increments of 10. Well, I guess you can't even bug that. Anywho, we'll our minimums here is 1217. We're using the LPV minimum, straight in landing with local altimeter setting in the sim. Okay, and then 1217 is our minimums / missed approach point. If we do not have the runway in sight, we'll execute our missed approach procedure by climbing to 3,000 and direct to Reba, and then hold as published. They're right turn, so that'll just be a parallel entry. Oh, there it is. That's what it was. The TAA 30 nautical miles initial approach fix, instead of it being listed on each TAA. Okay. There's WAS, and you can actually see. I think if you go into the select approach, you can see you have your WAS channel ID that's identified. So there you go. Nonetheless, we'll just go back to the map page, and we'll kind of wait till we reach top of descent. And we're just gonna kind of chillax until then. Look at the nav. The to from is just freaking the fuck out right now. Because it's using the like if I swap this out, notice it's gonna do that, but it still freaks the fuck out. Anywho, this is looking fine. Just kind of cruising along. It's making you cry every time you gave your love to me this way, saying you'd wait for me to stay, but I can't help the way I feel. Wish I was good. Wish that I could give you my love now, but I could tell you something that just can't be faithful. Oh, look. I gotta be up at 9 in the morning. Fun times. Cool. Alright, let's run through that checklist real quick. We do fucking nothing. That's funny. Yeah, we'll just shoot for 100 knots on our approach, and then just not exceed any thing, basically. So, pretty straightforward approach. I mean, nothing too much to do there. I wonder if I get this to on, it'll change it there, so that's interesting. I have to basically adjust my transponder with the GTX 320 because this doesn't automatically go into the altitude reporting mode because of this there. So, interesting. 525 nautical miles. We're like 30. We're in altitude hold mode, so I'll push in, click on the altitude bug, and we'll move this down to 3,100 feet. And boom, 3,100 feet. Set. We should have an airport directly underneath us. Like, right there. Alright, approaching top of descent. Shit. Menu. VNav. About 6 minutes. Six minutes to go. About an hour, 37 minutes elapsed.
Vertical track.
Alright, there's that. We'll go ahead and change it from altitude mode to pitch mode, and then we'll pitch it down. There's 2.5. And that looks like about 3 degrees to me. It's gonna pitch a little bit more than I'd like, so I'm just gonna pitch up just a smidge. There we go. And that is pretty much what we're looking at. That's about 800 feet per minute. This was at 987. So we'll pitch it, nose it over just a little bit more. And that looks good to me. Cool. Altimeter setting here. We'll use Lexington's altimeter setting here. So we'll do tree 02 tree. There we go. Whoops. 100. Borrow tree 02 tree. Cool. We'll set that in here. Cool. That's set. And as long as we're not in the yellow, we're pretty much good here. That's why we're kind of leaving the power settings and all of that alone. Cruise, again, we're at 28.3. I mean, I can bring the power setting down just a smidge. But again, props on top, mixture's good. We'll slowly enrich it, but we're pretty much, we're not too bad. I can also, we'll open it up just a little bit, not fully, but we'll open it up a little bit. That'll add a little bit of drag. Well, we'll close them up. What's interesting is apparently you want to leave the cowl flaps, like if you look at the approach and landing in here, cowl flaps as required. So, I mean, and if you look at the checklist here, before the approach, I mean, again, so I will open up the cowl flaps. It depends. I guess it depends on our airspeed. If we're coming in just fucking cooking, yeah, we'll probably open up those cowl flaps. But I mean, this is fine. We're coming in just a little bit toasty. We'll bring that manifold pressure. We'll go to about 27 inches here. Just adjusting this as necessary and then just maintaining that 3-degree pitch angle. There we go. Cool. It says our bottom of descent point is right around here. So, we'll just nose it over a little bit more. And I'll bring the power setting back down just a little bit. So for the descent, we'll probably do, we'll do again about 27 and about 20. Bring the prop down, we'll go 25. That's basically getting what I'm wanting. Again, we are absolutely cooking this approach in at about 200 knots over the ground. Coming in. Cool. And we'll enrich the mixture here. Again, I'm going to do it to 10, basically. So about there. Right about there is good. We'll bring that, again, manifold pressure. There we go. I mean, we could keep the manifold pressure in here at this current setting, about 28, and I can bring my prop all the way back down to 2400 RPM. Again, props on top. And let's see, if I bring it about to 20... Yeah, so let's do 24, and then let's bring the power setting down to about 26. Oh. There we go. And we'll get our landing lights on. Cool. And once we're about 5 minutes from ESOM, like if you look here, 24. Well, it's DME. Okay. If we look at utilities trip planning from present position to ESOM, we're about 7 minutes out. So 5 minutes out, I want to be at 100 knots. So we really need to slow down here. What we'll do, bring that manifold pressure down about 20, and we'll bring that prop all the way down about 22. And we'll open our cowl flaps. Not fully open. I think you get what, shock cooling or some shit like that. Something like that should be good. And put the max oxygen mask away. You can see the power settings are just, it is pretty not overpowered, but yeah, you can get pretty fast pretty quick. Okay. Look at that sunset. That is pretty. I'm going to get some panel lighting in. I don't know if there's dome lights. Here that is. You can turn that on. I don't think you can position it. Here's this turned all the way off. Nothing. All the way on. So, kind of useless, I guess. You have lights over here that actually do work. And, good. And, air vents. But yeah, no, you do have, some lighting. Like, if I hit this light and this light, doesn't really do much. Yeah. Yeah, we'll just pitch up just a smidge. Because if you look at the category B approach speeds, less than 120 knots. So if you look at the Piper Seneca II, $115 indicated is the AI overview. Sounds about right. That still is category B. Yeah, we're still cooking. I have this set to about 22 inches of manifold pressure. We could bring this down to 2,000 RPM as well. Let's say I bring this power setting back down to, let's say 18 inches of manifold pressure. And I bring this down to 20. $100. You do that. This is pretty decent because we'd be able to maintain our airspeed once we level off pretty decently. Alright, and then once we cross... you're cleared for the approach. Activate approach. Yeah, once we cross ESOM, we'll activate the approach mode, and we should be good to go. Alright, look at that airspeed coming down beautifully. Look at those cowl flaps. They're opened. Alright, and we'll pitch up a little bit. Okay, our gear down speed, we want to get it down below once we're below 129 here, so before the final approach fix is UBUP. UBUP is when we want to run that GUMPS check. And smack that altitude button. Cool. And now we're going to descend down to 3,000. Altitude 3,000, and then we'll pitch it down a little bit. And 3,000. Good. And stay here. Get the prop back to 22. And then power comes back in. There we go. So 2,200 RPM and about 21 inches of manifold pressure gets me where I want to be. And yeah, and then we'll arm 2600 and follow that in. We can arm the approach mode in here. And we should be good to go. Looks good to me. Okay, making that right turn. No idea where my damn cursor went. There it is. Okay. Cool. And let me get the charts opened up real quick. EBUP is at 2,600. Altitude 2,600. That's also our final approach fix. Alright. Last thing I want to do in here real quick is if we go into the airport at Lexington, we'll be just taking the West General Aviation. We'll vacate to the right and we'll be good to go, pretty much. Alright, let's go from altitude to pitch mode. We'll go down and pitch 2,600. Bring back manifold pressure. Alright, we'll run our GUMPS check once we're at the final approach fix. And I can actually, there's the glide slope indicator, but I can actually see the airport in sight here. got kind of a visual. Cool. Oh, shit. That's one thing I don't like about this aircraft. Alright, bring that power, and we're not going to overspeed or prop because I have the handle set correctly. What is this? Oh, you can activate the... That is so cool! I didn't know you could do that. But our minimums is 1217. 1217. Okay, we're definitely gonna a little bit more power. Okay, we're still good on the prop. I mean, I could get the flaps out to help with that pitch angle, since we're in the wide arc here. Alright, coming up on Yib up here, do our gums check, so gas is good. Undercarriage, we'll go ahead and drop the gear. Gear is coming down. Gear is in transition. Prop will leave at cruise setting. Mixture's coming rich. And then switches. We don't need to worry about that in this aircraft. Seatbelt's fastened. Coming down in. Cool. And I'm going to close up the cowl flaps here. Get a little bit of that power coming in. Glide slope should be coming in any. There's the glide slope. Boom. I'm going to follow that down. And we will reset this to, was it 1710 I said? What did I say? 1217. Yeah, not even close. So we'll reset that down to 1217. We'll put in 1280. We'll just remember 1217. Brake getting to the right here. Power, I'm going to bring back just a little bit. Alright, we're in the wide arc. Get one notch of flaps. Alright, and then our final approach speed here is going to be 87 knots. And then with 1217, 300 above that, you're looking at 1,500 feet roughly, is when we're going to run our ups check. Got one more notch of flaps. Alright, 87 knots is our final approach speed. Alright, ups check. We'll run it in about 200 feet here. Was it 78 or 87? I can't remember. 87. Okay. Alright, ups check. Prop. Landing gear is down, indicating 3 green. Props full force, which is good. Dumper flaps.
500.
Alright, and autopilot's coming off. Go visual here, got the airport in sight. 87 is going to be our approach speed. So I can quite literally just kind of leave my power setting alone and we'll be good to go. I'll just have it trimmed up a little bit. Maybe a little bit less power. Looking good. And there's minimums. Good. Aiming point right now is the numbers. Probably add a little bit of power here. Alright, coming on in. There we go. Alright, I'm gonna baby that power out. Oof. Oof. Alright, looking good in the sim. Again, it's hard to gauge that because, well, duh. Anywho. Oof. Alright. Again, I'll take that in the sim for an aircraft like that. Click down to Foxtrot 2, so we'll go power. Get a little bit of power going. Cool, we'll vacate right onto Foxtrot 2. Alright, there we go. Yeah, right on Foxtrot here. Alright. Clear the runway. Yes, we are. Gonna hop on the brakes real quick. Alright. After landing, cowl flaps opened. Flaps coming up. Make sure, see if flaps are coming up. Alright. Pitot heat, prop heat off. Cool. Light as required. Transponder as required. Cabin heat, fan. Release off of that. Cool. And then we'll just make sure that we're sitting at about 1,000 RPM, which we are. Cool. Lovely. I'll just get one of the landing lights off. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in to Lexington. Again, I wonder if you can get the red light. No, you do have a little bit of the red lighting that actually works. Don't need it though. You don't need it. We won't take this one, we'll take Foxtrot 4. Alright, here's Foxtrot 4. Slow down a little bit. That left turn. There's the terminal. There's the park it here. All right. And right about there. It's good. Park brake is set. Cool. So to stop this, basically what we'll do is get the landing lights off. That strobe light. Fin strobe light should have been off. Okay, and what we'll do here is we'll get the nav light off, and go ahead, drop the avionics. Cool. Mixture idle cutoff. Prop stop spinning, prop stop spinning. So we'll get the mags off. Alternator off. Bin strobe light off. And get the battery master off here. I'll also idle this out. You can, you know, do your times, all that jazz. I will close this up. Get the battery off. There's some other light in here. Switch light dim. Interesting. Oh, that's this thing here. Interesting. Okay. We'll go ahead, open up everything. Open, where do I? Go. Open you up. And we'll put some chocks, put the covers in. That was a beautiful, beautiful flight. I enjoyed that. Let's do a quick little replay, and then we'll call it a night. So I'm going to close this up. I'm going to close my doors, just because I don't know if the replay factors in for any of that. And close it, latch it. All right, flight, toggle replay mode, back it up. Okay, looks like it does save it for the most part. Come down here, yeah, got all of our lights and everything. Cool. So let's do tower view. Here we go. So you had a little bit of a float there, and then we came down. Wasn't too bad. We'll do one from the 1,000 footers. Came in a little bit fast. Yeah, not bad. Here's your passenger view. And here's your view from here. Nice. We'll do one last one from the pit here. Lovely. And it does a pretty decent job of actually saving the states, not fucking up with the replay mode. So kudos to the developer for that. I will, however, like to open everything here for the next flight. We'll open up the doors, turn on the chocks, covers, and release. Release the parking brake. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank you all for joining me again today with this flight in the Piper Seneca. Beautiful flight. Pretty decent lengthwise, but yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. So yeah, until next time, guys, y'all take care, and I will see you guys in the next one. Until then.